I applied for the Disney Co-op, which is like where you go down to Disney for a semester and you like kind of bounce through all the different departments of Disney. You work in every area of Disney. And anyone that knows me now and knows my career, like it would be like the mothership calling me home. But they said, no, thank you. But that's also the summer that I met Michael Bivins and my music career began. So I have a great story about how what you think.
Music career?
Then you don't know me at all, man. You ain't done no research, brother.
I done your acting. I didn't know. I'm not up. I thought I knew you. I thought I just been following you.
No, I think you know this. I was in the East Coast Family. You know this. One for all for one video.
I do not know this.
Kev.
I've only known you for...
At this point, Kev, what are we even doing? What are we even doing, man?
We gotta talk.
What is this friendship? If you don't know the origin story of me, what are we doing?
I'm learning. Friendship's about learning. We're always evolving as people. We're learning. We're evolving.
You're right.
Be in here with this French rod! Yvette! Just as Yvette! Oh my God. Yvette, you better sing, girl!
You stupid.
You better sing, Yvette! Hold on! Let me find out!
Oh,
listen, let's kick it off. Welcome to Not My Best Moment with me, Kev, on stage, author of hopefully New York Times bestseller book, Successful Failure. Usually on podcasts, we talk about what makes people great. We're here with Yvette Nicole Brown today, a.k.a. just Yvette, the moniker. Now, easily we could talk about everything she's done. Over 180 acting credits to her name on IMDb. Everything from Community to Inside Out. She's acted. She's directed. She's been in your favorite shows. She's directed your favorite movies. She's currently on Family Business on BET. Netflix Act Your Age. The Prophecy. Yes. We know all these things. But we're not here to talk about accolades. That's not what this show is about. This show is about your mistakes, your mess ups, and what you learn from them, if anything. So we are here. Now, I didn't do my Googles on Yvette. I've known Yvette as a fan for many, many years, and I've known her as a friend for a few years, at least 5, 6, 7.
At least 5, 6, 7.
At least 5, 6, 7. And Yvette, I didn't know. My producer said, hey, y'all didn't know Yvette was in the East Coast Family, as Yvette had a whole music career. Please tell me. I know I was wiggity whack, Yvette. I was wiggity whack.
You was wiggity whack. That's crisscross, but I'll allow it.
I was wiggity whack. Everything about the music video took me back to a time that I loved to spend in the 90s.
Yes.
But, update us who don't know on what happened there, because this is news to me. Please inform me.
You know what's funny? We started this conversation. First of all, I'm very happy to be looking at you in a box, in an online box. I mean, I wish you could be in person, but we have been trying to do this for how many podcast visits was I supposed to make? And life just kept lifing. Like I had to cancel. You had to cancel.
Yes,
COVID happened. Like
COVID cost us some. It was just bad. Life was
crazy.
happening. But you know what? All things work together, because I think this might be the best version of talking to you. I think this might be the most interesting. So, I feel
good about it.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. So we, the not my best moment, like when you sent the little, they send it, for those that don't know, they send a little pre little thing, a piece of paper, let you know what exactly they want from you. And they said, pick something, pick a time when you weren't at your best or life was lifing and all that. And so I have two things. But the reason we got to East Coast Family is I was telling Kev that my first big disappointment in life happened when I was in college. I think I was a freshman or a sophomore in college. And so we had this thing there, and I think other colleges may have had it too. It was called the Disney Co-op. And it was where you got a semester off from school and you spent that time going to Disney World and cycling through every single part of the parks, from executive to working as a guide to backstage. You were literally, you might even have time in the Mickey Mouse costume. Like, you literally tried everything. And I think the goal of the program was for you to decide, what you wanted to do as part of the Disney family one day. Now, anyone that knows my career now and how much I work for Disney and how PG-13 I am, you would think that would be the mothership calling me home. So when I heard about it, my 18 or 19-year-old self was like, oh my God, this is it. This is the moment. God, thank you. This is about to happen. Grueling interviews, Kev, like at least 3 or 4 interviews while you're in school. So you're going to school and then you're meeting with all these different people and you're telling them why you want to do what you want to do and really selling yourself. It was wonderful. We get to the final interview. I'm like, this is it. This is my moment. Like, I'm about to go in there and it's about to be all that. I go in and do the interview. I'm like, this is it. Like, my life is about to change. I'm about to be down at Disney. It's about to begin. Maybe 2 weeks later, dear Yvette Brown, we regret to inform you and we have not chosen you to be a part of the Disney Fellowship. And when I tell you, to this day, I mean, I'm going to say that I do know now why, but at the time I couldn't understand what I did wrong. I knew that my school, my personality was great. My classes, my coursework, my grades were great. I had extracurriculars. I know that I was the personality that I'm obvious, the Disney personality. So I'm like, what is it? What is it?
Yeah.
So I didn't get it. I was devastated. But then that summer was the summer that BBD came to my college town to perform. And that is the summer that I went and sang for Michael Bivins. And that's the summer that I became a part of the East Coast family, got my record deal, met Boys to Men, got to travel to LA and see the world. And so what I learned from that experience is that, the only thing that's heartbreaking about life is you don't have the lane of experience to realize that things always ultimately work out. Now, that ultimately might be 20 years later. Might be 20 minutes later, but it does ultimately always work out. And now you fast forward, 30 years, and I'm on, in Disney movies, and I'm going down to Florida in a couple of days to host something else for Disney at Disney World. I am hosting in front of thousands of people for the Disney company. And that's something, so what I felt in my heart that I was being called to do, it was a call from the future. It was telling me where you will be. Huh? So it's not just about, right? Come on now.
That's good.
Come on. Sometimes God will give you a glimpse of where he's going to take you ultimately. And we only miss out on that blessing if we stay in the muck and the mire of the disappointment. Disappointment gonna happen. Mm-hmm. One thing I know for sure, my 54 years of living, there's going to be times when you don't understand, when it doesn't make sense, when all is lost. But, it's the third day, huh?
Yeah.
On the third day is when, and the figurative third day for you is when you rise up and God reveals what he always had for you. So he just whispered it to me a few years early, but he told me what he had for me. It just wasn't coming in that way.
I love that. I love that. I think the part that is so good. I think the part that's hard about that is, ultimately we believe God has, and I do believe this, I assume you do as well, God has the whole picture.
Yep.
The whole plan, the whole journey. Yep. But we have the next step or two.
Right.
And I imagine it's like a maze. Like you're walking in a maze and you get to the end and you're just like, you don't know how far you are, where you are. And that part is very frustrating because in the moment we be like, this is, what next? Like I imagine you were like, well, now how long did it take you to to reconcile, because you put your eggs in that basket that
egg was down the road with the rabbit carrying it. He was hopping on down the road with that basket. I didn't have no more eggs. It's like me in this house right now because eggs is expensive. I ain't had no eggs. All my eggs was in that basket. And I didn't, the thing is, I was like, I had planned to be in Florida. Like I had literally told my roommates deuces, like I was ready to go to what it was supposed to be. And it probably wasn't. This was like fall semester into spring semester, all the interviews. And I didn't meet Michael until that summer. So it really was months, like 6, 7, 8 months of just feeling like I really missed it. Because there's nothing, as a believer, there's nothing worse. Hell is worse. Reprobate is worse. But there's very little worse than knowing that you heard God, and him saying, nah, not right now or later. That is such a debilitating thing, especially when you're young, either when you're young in Christ or young in the world.
Right. Or
both. Right. So I was both. I was 19 years old and I was young in my walk with God, and I was young in life. So I hadn't yet realized that sometimes hard work doesn't pay off immediately.
Oh, say more about that, Yvette.
Right?
Say that, because that's hard to settle with.
Right. Because we're told, especially little Black kids, we're told that the only way through is if we have to excel, right? Excellence, 10 times better to get half as much. All of that is what we're told from the time we're young. And honestly, up until that point in my life, it had been proven true. Like, I was the one that was front row center in every class. I was National Honor Society, scholarships to college. I was that chick. Like, I really believed, if you work hard and you study hard and you're a good person, the world opens up for you. And that was the first time that I did all the things. I did them all, and it did not, that particular blessing did not come my way. And I had to really sit with that. And because you have that moment, it doesn't matter where you are in Christ. You have the moment where you're like, well, what does it mean when you have done what he said we're supposed to do? And the answer is still no. And that always takes me back to the scripture, though he slay me,
yet will I trust him.
Yet will I trust. And so listen, slay is death.
Woo!
Now that might be, death to a dream, death to a relationship, death to a job prospect, death to a friendship. But the point is, you're supposed to be able to be like, all right, he took me out. And I don't like it. We ain't got to like it. I don't like it.
Right.
But I trust him.
Yeah.
But I trust him. And that was the first time I had to literally, lean into that thing.
So how did you trust him? I'm going to ask this and I'm going to double back.
Sure.
What's the time period between when you found out you weren't getting it and until you met Michael Bivins?
It was probably, I would say I didn't get it around maybe March, because they were setting us up to be able to go there in the fall.
Okay.
So I want to say like maybe February or March, I got the No, It Ain't You. And then I met Michael probably that July.
Okay.
So 4 or 5 months from that to that. And I got to be honest, when I met Michael, I didn't have that instant. That's why I didn't have that. Like, I was very happy that I met Michael, but I still wanted Disney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what was going to happen with Michael. I didn't know if I was going to actually be signed. I didn't know that the East Coast family was coming. I didn't know any of that. I just knew that I sang for one of my heroes and he liked my voice and he promised me that I'd be doing something musical, which had been my greatest dream. Even before going to college, I always wanted to be a singer. So that was great, but I didn't have, it wasn't a bird in the hand.
For sure.
Disney was the bird, the beautiful dove was in the hand.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you take me through those in between months? Like, what was it like? And when you're young, we don't have a lot of life experience even. It ain't like, that one time. Now you can say, when I was 19, this happened, or when I thought I would get this role or book this movie. But at that time, that might have been the most devastating thing career-wise for you. Might
have been. Whoo, inconsolable. Couldn't nobody say nothing to me. My mother was like, baby, I said, my mom can't hear it now. I can't hear it right now. The mouse didn't went on without me. The mouse don't want me. The mouse don't want me, mama. The mouse don't want me. The only thing that I could even liken it to back then was just like liking some dude that didn't like me back. Like, that was the only thing that was as devastating, as that experience, That's the only thing. Everything else paled in comparison. So you just kind of, I think at the time, I think this is the way I am though in life. I mean, what more do?
Right.
I mean, what is I'm gonna do but trust God?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know anything other to do, and I'm a completist. Like, I want to see how this thing gonna end. This is
Yeah.
why, for the most part, I've never been suicidal because, and I've had things that have happened that have made me like, this sucks. I don't like it here.
Yeah.
But the reason I've never seriously thought about leaving here is like, well, I gotta see how it's going.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, it might get better tomorrow.
I got to see what the end
I
gonna
got
be.
to see what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I figure out what it is. I mean, I'm gonna leave here someday anyway, so might as well wait till the Lord take me than take myself. So that's, so what I'm gonna do, but weather this and have a great story to tell. Hopefully.
So let me ask you this. And I want to know what happened with your music career as well.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody who, you don't have to be an actor to know this. Very few of us get to be Denzel and audition once and never have to audition again.
That's right.
The rest of us have to audition.
Yes.
Is there anything you learned from not getting that Disney co-op that later on in life you feel like helped you navigate Hollywood or the music industry?
Yeah, what I learned is that you not promised nothing. Like even if you got next, even if you are the person that everybody's like, this you, son. There's no guarantees. And that actually, where some people might see that as sad, that was freeing for me. Because that meant if there's no guarantees for me, there's no guarantee for anybody else either, which means it's a very level playing field. I just realized at that moment, I say this all the time when I talk to young actors and young people, I always say nobody knows what they're doing and nobody knows what the secret sauce is for this business. Anybody you talk to that has made it, talk to 50 people, you'll hear 50 ways they broke in.
Right.
You'll hear 50 ways they got their agent, their manager, their podcast, their whatever. There's no set way of doing any of this, which means anyone that tells you, well, this is how you do it, they don't know.
This is how they did it.
That's how they did it. You know, the basics, you have a headshot. Right? If you're a comedian, have 5 minutes in your back pocket. If you're a writer, make sure you got a script or two. That's the basics. But as far as that script guaranteeing you're going to have a movie, please. Or Churchy on BT, absolutely not.
Yeah.
There ain't no guarantee for that stuff. You do the work and hope for the best, but there's no guarantee. So that's what I learned from it. I don't regret that I was excellent in those interviews. I don't regret that I dreamed of being a part of Disney. Like I said, it was my future calling. That was good work I did. It was right for me to put that time in. It made me better for every interview I had going forward, every audition I had going forward. It sucks that I didn't get it, but I got it. It's like wax on, wax off with in Karate Kid.
Yeah.
He's doing the hard work, and in the moment, it doesn't look like it's bearing any fruit. But get in there with one leg and fight, and be able to paint the fence and live.
Right. I think that's so good to hear. Like,
it
feels like harsh advice, but it's very true. Sometimes your best isn't good enough.
Mm-mm.
Like in sports, there's this phrase that says "good defense, better offense," and there's no defense for the perfect play. Like you can have done everything, right? You could be in position. You could have scouted. You could know their tendencies. You could have your hand up. Sometimes that shot still goes in, and you lose the game.
That's
and
right.
I think you gotta kind of own that, regardless of your industry. Sometimes you gotta own that you did everything right, especially Hollywood. I think for me, I hate auditioning, and one thing I hate is they don't even tell you didn't get it. They don't even respond.
You never hear from you. Ghosted. You get ghosted.
You just never hear, like, especially you feel like, man, I killed this. And my son used to be in the industry, and he was like 6. He was auditioning, and he would be like, he'd do his preparation and do all this, and then not get it. And he's like, Daddy, am I not good enough? And it could be something as simple, and I didn't understand this till I was on the other side. Mm-hmm. When he did Little Rascals, they wanted these characters to be exactly 4 inches apart in height.
Same height. Right.
Like he played Buckwheat in the remake, and the partner Porky, they loved him, and they loved my son's partner, but they wanted Buckwheat to be exactly 4 inches. So had my son done everything else, but not have the wrong height. Been the wrong height. And it's like, how do you do that over and over when they don't even tell you that? I only know that because he booked it. If he didn't book it, they wouldn't have even told us that. And I think that resilience is so necessary.
Yeah. But something else came to mind. I always think about life as like, can't remember what painter it is that does the dots. I don't know if it's Matisse or Monet, but one of them does the little dots, and you get really close to it, and it doesn't look great, and then you pull out, and it's like, oh, they're by the river looking at the ducks. Yeah. So what I always think about is we are looking at our life very close up. And when it's a tough moment, God is working on the shadow of somebody standing on the river, right? It's a shadow. And the shadow is dark, right? So when you're looking up close, you just see black and blue and dark colors. But you pull out, oh, that's the latest shadow. But you can only see it from up here. And that's the way God is looking at it, right? The other thing I always think about is we are the star of our story. But sometimes we're a supporting player or even a background performer in someone else's story. So there might have been somebody at my college who really wanted to go to Disney and they didn't believe that they could do it. And there was one slot left and it was between me and that person. And God needed to teach that person that sometimes you can be the underdog and still win. So instead of giving it to the one that was the shoe-in this instance, God chose to use the shoe-in against the underdog for the underdog to get it so that person could have what they needed to take them where they need to go. It wasn't my story. That was his story.
Yeah.
I was a supporting player in that person's version of this story, right? Their life story. And you got to be okay being a supporting player in someone else's story, even if it's one that you want, a show you really want to be in.
That is so good. That is low key. That's a really good perspective to have. One thing that I've been like, implementing more wasn't a thought process that I used to have, but I've been implementing more and more, and it helps navigate Hollywood tremendously. Is what God has for me is for me.
It's for you.
And the things you think are for you, like you're saying about that dot. In that moment, you feel like, oh, if I just did this, it would be perfect. And it seems like, oh, this would fit. This would be perfect. And it isn't, because you don't have the right perspective. I remember when I was very young, maybe about 20, maybe 19 or 20. And this is when we were doing the plays. And I remember we had done a play and we were just sure we were going to take it on the road. Woo. And I was going to be away from my family. And I bought my wife a laptop, and this thing had more malware than keys, just full of malware, spyware. And I thought I was moving to Chicago. We didn't even have kids yet. So I'm going to go to Chicago and we're going to make it. Ended up being the lady, the promoter, ended up getting pregnant. She was like, I was ready to move to Chicago. And she was like, I'm sorry, I'm having twins. Click.
Yeah, that's it. It's over.
Yeah. And I think now I realize I'm very grateful that my career has gone very slowly.
Yeah.
Because I needed to learn how to be a good husband, a better father. Like, I travel a lot now, but when my children were young, I didn't travel that much. And you can't go back in time and redo that. Now they're like, oh yeah, I travel a lot now, but they're like, I felt super guilty about it. And they were like, you've been a part of our life.
You've been here. And we almost grown now. So go on, go.
We almost grown now. And now Yvette, they don't, even when I am home, they be gone with their friends. They be in Universal Studios and
they
stuff.
Got a life, Kev. They ain't got time for you now.
They ain't got no time. But I think only when I look back, I can say I'm glad that things worked out the way they did. Yeah. But looking forward, it's like fog. I
got to say this, though. You don't want to be somewhere you're not ready for either. You know what I mean? Come on now. Yeah. Like, we all have big dreams and things that we want to do, especially in this industry. I want to lead a movie. Do you? Mm-hmm. And you may, but are you ready to lead? I'll be on a multi-million-dollar movie. Really? You ready for that? The pressure of it. Like, I kind of like slow and steady. I let God decide when it's time for me to level up. I don't petition and do none of that. I'd be like, Lord, whenever you say it's time, I'm going to go. You open the door, I'm going to go through it. But I'm not banging I don't bang on doors, Kev.
Yeah,
I don't bang on doors. I don't do it. I've always joked that my career is Forrest Gump. Like, everywhere I've ended up has been literally just, finding my way there. Now, I'm prepared. I prepare, but I don't chase down things. And that's why the other thing, going back to the what's for you is for you, I've never understood people that act as if there's not enough to go around. And because of that, they stabbing people in the back and stepping on people's necks to get ahead. If I got to step on your neck to get it, I don't want it. Right. I don't want to lose myself to get something from you. I want you to have everything God got for you. I'm not taking nothing from nobody. I am proud to say I've never stolen anybody's job. I've never slept with anybody to get ahead. I ain't never took nobody's boyfriend or tried to. Yeah. I don't live like that. I've never lied about, I don't lie about pride. Girl, I don't know who they seeing. If I know who they seeing, I'm going to tell you who they seeing. I will find out about an audition and ask any of my friends, and they'll tell you the truth. I'll be like, Octavia, they over there looking for us. They going down to Ross Lacey. because I mean, Octavia don't need this now. She got the
Right.
Oscar. They be calling her, but I'm saying back in the day,
Right.
I'd be like, Octavia, they looking for us down at Ross Lacey gone, and it's a Tide commercial, and they want somebody who's a little fluffy that got you know, a little brown skinned girl going down there. Tell them I sent you. I don't care. I'll come out of an audition and be like, there's 3 people in there. The lady in the green sweater don't like to laugh, so don't put nothing to her. Talk to the guy in the brown sweater. He real nice. I tell everybody everything because in my mind, it's either for me or it's for you.
Yeah.
And if you my girl, and even if you not my girl, I don't care. I do not gatekeep information. I think everybody should win. If anybody looks at my page, I be promoting everybody's stuff. Ain't nobody paying me nothing.
You be out here for the community.
I'll be like, Churchy about to come back. Come on. I will read. My stories is like 500 pages long because every time somebody got some good news or need help, I'm reposting it.
Yeah.
I'm not hiding no good stuff from nobody. I ain't got to be in it to tell you it's good. Go and watch Kevin's show and stop playing. You better go on and buy them pots from Tabitha selling pots.
Yes.
She's selling some pots. Y'all better go get them pots and Donna's recipe. I'll be the first one.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. And it don't take nothing from you.
It'll take nothing.
I fully believe God has your and honestly, I even believe the more you are that way, the more people celebrate you when it's your turn.
Absolutely. This is a saying I use all the time, Kevin. It says a candle loses nothing by lighting another.
Oh, that's good.
You don't lose nothing. You get it. That flame is plentiful. Go on,
plentiful.
Share your flame. Go on, share your flame. Go share your flame.
Now that the Disney Fellowship, you lost it and you won back and you got everything worked out okay. Is there anything in your life that you went through where you still to this day might not figure
to this day?
To this day.
I will tell you, it's so funny. I've never told this. People know this story, but I've never told this story publicly. So when I graduated from college, I moved out to LA to pursue the music career. Music had changed a little bit. I'm PG-13. I've always been PG-13. Kim Whitley calls me little baby Jesus. I've always been someone that I'm always fully covered. I'm just who I am. And there's no judgment. If you want to be out there like that, live your life. But for me, I know what works for me. So I didn't want to sing sex songs. I didn't want to sing songs like, flip me up, throw me against the wall. All that stuff was just not for me. And so between getting my record deal at, I think 20 is when I signed my deal, and then graduating from college and moving to LA, the music industry, like Adina Howard was out there like, I want to get, hey, she was like, come on, get it.
I know that
Everybody,
song well.
You remember that song? I know it very well. So
I know it.
Yeah. So, and no shade to Adina, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So by the time I came out, I was like, well, let me just, work in the industry and pursue other things. So I was working as an office temp, and there was this show that came out called The Cut. And it was the precursor to American Idol. And it was 3 judges, and you came out and you sang, and they assessed you. And then I think the winner of that show would go on and get a record deal and end up being, get a video and whatever. And so I'm working as a temp, and I'm like, I think this is look at me. This is it. Let me tell you something. I had my teeth kicked in so much as a young person that I don't even declare that something is it anymore. I don't do it. I don't do it. I go, I leave it. But I was like, this is it. Like, this is my way to get back into the industry. So I go and audition, and I get it. I'm going to be on the show, which I'm taking as a sign. And I was not to my credit. I had just quit a job. Now, to my credit, I didn't quit the job because of the show. I quit the job because sometimes I wake up and go, it's a good day to quit. Like, you got to know when it's time. When your time is up. I said, today's the day. So I'd already quit. And so I quit the job and then I gave my 2 weeks notice. And then within that next week, I was going to be going to do this show. So I go and do the show, and I'm nervous, and I'm backstage, and I'm feeling like my throat is a little dry. So I said, let me just I'm going to put a delicious lozenge in. I'm going to moisten these vocal cords. Now, I'm not a trained singer. Anything I know how to do as a singer, and for the most part as an actor, it's just me learning, being a fool or just singing. I'm not trained. Had I been trained, I would know that you don't eat a lozenge because it kind of numbs your vocal cords. So you can't really control them as well. And also training might have taught me that you don't start a song with one in your mouth.
Oh, no.
So you know how this ends. So I got out there and started to sing on this national television show, and the lozenge goes down my throat as soon as I say my first note. So we go, That is the noise that my throat made. Now I'm thinking, do I keep trying to sing or do I try to survive? I gotta get it down or it's gotta come up. Up is probably bad. All this is going through my mind while I'm singing this song in front of these 3 judges. So of course it was horrible.
Yeah.
I got judged horribly. The judges were like, "You're trash. I don't know how you got on the show. Boo. Somebody had tomatoes." No, I'm kidding. But if they had tomatoes, they would have thrown the tomatoes.
Right.
Now, this happened on national television. It happened on MTV. And this is when MTV played things 5 million times. So I'm leaving. I literally, Kev, I promise you, I was leaving the set. And I said to myself, well, I'm in the car already. I should just drive to Ohio. I don't need anything that's in that little small studio apartment. I've quit my job.
Yeah.
I don't really own anything because I was poor. I was so poor. I was so poor back then. I was like, I'll just drive home.
Right. So it's over.
I tried this. Didn't happen. It's okay. And then it washed over me how many times it would be seen.
Mm.
And when I tell you MTV did not disappoint, when I tell you MTV ran my humiliation. I'm saying if it aired 500 times, I'm not even kidding, Kev. It all day parts. All day parts. First thing in the morning, middle of the night, it was on. And I remember, I'll never forget this. There was this girl that I thought was my friend. I thought we were friends in high school. She called me long distance, and this is before cell phones. This is when long distance was expensive.
Yeah.
She found my number in that studio apartment, and she called me long distance. She said, "Hey, I just saw you on the cut. That was real embarrassing, huh?"
Oh my God.
I said, "Yeah, that was really devastating. Yeah, I watched it. I've seen it a couple times. It airs a lot." I said, "Yeah, it does. Thank you for letting me know that you watched me get humiliated on television." And I realized in that moment, there's always a lesson.
Yeah.
I realized, one, this girl is not my friend. That's obvious. But then I also realized that there are people that enjoy someone else's downfall. And though I had never been someone that did, I really hate. I'm so bad, Kev. I can't go to comedy clubs because I don't like people to bomb. Like I'm the fool. You know the fool. We see somebody really bombing and there's one person laughing. That's me.
Yeah, I'm the one that's keep them going.
Can't watch Apollo because they might get booed. Like I something dies inside when someone doesn't do well, and I know that they want to. So I don't have that in me. I don't understand the inclination to kick someone while they're down.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned from her that there are people that do wish you ill, and there are people that, I guess they call them monitoring spirits now. We didn't have that framework back then, but there are people that watch you hoping that you fail. And I realized, I left Cleveland to come to LA to chase these big dreams that a lot of people in Cleveland didn't have because we can't see our way out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, crazy enough to actually think that this could happen for me. And I realized that bothered her. Like she didn't like that I wanted more for myself. And when she thought that this big dream I had died, she couldn't wait to dance at the death party, the funeral. And I had learned in that experience to never allow someone else's glee at my failure to affect me, because it told me more about who she was than about me and that lozenge on that TV show. You know what I mean? Like I and I heard she lost a toe recently. I heard she don't have a toe. The Lord came and grabbed that toe. He said, "Come on, give me that. Give me that right quick."
She's standing 9 toes down.
Nine toes down in her hate. And listen, I wish her well. I've always wished her well. I ain't got no beef with her, but she sure enough relished, kicking me when I was down.
Wow.
With the 10 toes she had at the time.
You know what's so interesting about that, Yvette, is that wasn't even a skill issue. That was an unfortunate mishap.
Yeah.
And she jumped at something on another day. You don't have the lozenge, and whatever happens is it's not a skill issue, but that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles. But I think it's so interesting. Your career started before social media was a big part of it, and it's gone into social media being a big part of it. That, to me, that lesson is a valuable one for having a career on social media, because people, they don't like you, and they just are waiting for enough people to not like you so they can finally share a disdain they've always had without reason.
That's rough.
It's so rough. And I think we've had to learn to really not take that unwarranted criticism personally. Because I think you're right. It really honestly is more reflective of the person than anything you have done. You are really just the target
of their own sadness or their own self-hate, and being fair to her, she might have felt trapped in Ohio, or she might have felt like, what she wanted to do, she wouldn't be able to do. And who am I to dream big? Who am I to, and I've never been a braggadocious person. So it wasn't like I was walking through the streets of Cleveland, like, look at me. I've never been that person. So I didn't understand why she felt like she had to kick me down. I keep myself pretty low anyway. I'm a very humble person. So I didn't get it, but I realized that it wasn't about me, and I also know God has always got me, even in the midst of devastation. And when I say that situation was even more devastating than the Disney thing, because I didn't feel that I had done my best. I felt that I'd made a mistake, a bad decision that ended up playing out repeatedly. And I didn't know what that lesson, don't put a lozenge in? Is that that's not a big enough lesson for it to be, played that many times.
Yeah.
But then I think it goes back to the lesson of the Disney co-op. I had to learn that sometimes it doesn't go your way. And it goes right back to who are you as a child of God if God has another plan for you? Who are you? Now you quit your job, so you don't have a job. You just humiliated yourself on television. And then also, I forgot to say this, I had a temp job starting the next day.
Really?
So I went to the temp job. Now, ask me, did I cry all day at the place?
Did you cry all day?
I cried all day, Kevin. I cried all day. They said, this poor girl, that was a TV show. And they said, well, girl, just answer the phones when you can't. Dry your tears and get these phones. That job ended up being, how about this? That job ended up being a blessing for years. Not years, for a few months, like 6 or 7 months. It was at a place called Apollo Investments. I think it still exists. It was an investment firm. This place had a full kitchen because they wanted the men and women that worked there to feel free to work as late as they wanted or come in as early. So they had breakfast, they catered lunch, they catered dinner every day. I had quit a job. I was on the bus and a sister was poor. And I ate well at Apollo Investments, and they enjoyed me. They forgave my tears that first day, and I ended up working there as long as I wanted to. Anytime they needed a temp, they called me in. So it literally, even though I was in my lowest place, God was still providing. He was still giving me provision. And you have to always look for, there's a silver lining in every cloud. I am old, and I can tell y'all, there is a silver lining in every cloud, but you can sit there and bemoan the rain. Ooh. Or you can go, let me look through these dots and these drops and say, I'm an girl.
Yeah.
There it is. And I will cling to that little sliver of a silver lining as long as it takes until the rain stops, because rain gonna come. Let me tell you what life taught me, Kev. Most of life is hard.
Yeah.
The good times, like I think we were sold a bill of goods that life is great and fun and whatever, and sometimes it's bad. No. It's mostly really difficult, and sometimes it's good. Yes. And so you need to learn how to cope through the hard. If you learn how to make it through hard times without, what Tab always say, if you can't have a good day, don't you go mess up nobody else.
Don't you go messing nobody else's
Don't you go mess up nobody else's hair. So if you can find a way to weather your storms without becoming a storm cloud in someone else's life, you cracked the matrix.
I love that.
Cracked it.
That's so good because, I imagine early in your career, you went from temp job to booking something to back to temp job.
Right.
Like booking back to it. You didn't have like my first role, 100 episodes. Like you've had,
Yeah.
And I think that has to be tough.
Yeah.
To be like, I got a little bit of my dream. Now I got to go back to Apollo Investments.
Man, let me tell you something. Well, they had very delicious food, so I wasn't ever sad to go back.
That's silver lining down at Apollo is I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Man, delicious food. Chick-fil-A, Kookaroo, they was doing it
Well,
back
that's true. That's part of your amenities down at the job. It
Yeah.
must be more valuable than 401k when you hungry. I'm hungry right now.
Yeah.
I'm hungry today.
Every cereal, Kev, every cereal that they made, it was in there. When you go on little shredded wheat on up to the Fruit Loops and the Apple Jacks, they had it all. They had milk.
Every cereal they made was in there.
2% and whole. You decide you want to do the skim, do the skim. You want the full experience of the cow. Here's the whole with the vitamin D.
Yeah.
Go on, get up in here, man. Apollo Business was amazing. But yeah, it's all a journey. The first sitcom I booked, Kevin Hart, I mentioned earlier, The Big House. The Big House was picked up for. I should have told that story. That's a great story.
We got time, Yvette.
The Big House.
We still got time.
We do the pilot. It's my first pilot season. Book a pilot. My first pilot season. It's crazy. Never happens. And then the show is picked up. They fly us to New York to do the upfronts. The night before the upfronts, they call us into a room and they say, "We're sorry, your pickup has been rescinded." Never in the history of network television had a cast been flown to the upfronts and the show canceled before they're able to be announced. So they told us, you guys can either catch a flight back tonight. You can do. I said, "But listen, I got this room until the day after tomorrow, so I'm gonna get me." And I got this per diem. They didn't told me I got some per diem on this room. I left there with a robe. We were staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I left with a Ritz-Carlton
I'm leaving
robe.
here with something.
I put that on there. I got all the shrimp. Do you understand? I called down the room service and said, I have $200, and $200 went a lot further back in 2003.
$200 is a great per diem.
I said, I got $200. I would like all the shrimp. However you cook it, fry it, fricassee. I would like all the shrimp. So they sent all the shrimp up, all of that. And then, so we fly back to California. And then because it was a Black show that got canceled that way and it never happened, I think there was really a lot of bad press. And so then we ended up getting a mid-season pickup for 13.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the night before the 6th episode starts. I go and buy a car because I'd been driving a beater. I mean, like check engine light on, can't go up the hill and have the radio on. You had a choice. You had a radio on, the heat, or go up a hill. Those are your choices. So listen, now I done told you the car I would get in. Go listen. This is what we doing today. I done told you what we can do today. So figure it out. So
I
this
have
car
a
was
car like that.
man.
I do everything but go uphill. If it got to go uphill, you got to go another different way. So park down here and walk.
Walk up. So this car was on its last legs, and I was like, I finally have a network show. I wasn't making a lot of money per episode, of course, but it was enough to get a car note and know that I could pay it. So I buy this car. The dealership was right across the street we were shooting at the studio that's in Culver City. I think it's called Sunset Gower or Gower Studios. Anyway, there was a Honda dealership right across the street. Bought my little Honda CRV, pull up to the show, got the bow on it. I'm excited. Come in with the key. They're like, Yvette, can we have a conversation in the living room set? Anytime they want to gather us somewhere, it ain't good. I go in with my key in my hand and they say, yeah, we've been canceled. This episode is our last episode. So we not only got canceled before upfronts, we didn't even get to finish the first 13. We got 6. And I had just bought a car.
The day you bought the car, the show got canceled?
The day after, I bought the car on like a Monday night, Tuesday morning. That show was canceled.
The next day you went to work, they said...
With the bow. Kev, I still had the bow on the hood.
With the bow still on the hood?
It's the first time I ever bought a new car. I said, I need the bow. Y'all got to give me the bow. I drove with the bow. The bow was on the car.
Oh my God.
I was like now that I'm telling these stories, I'm like, why am I so hopeful? Why do I believe?
Did you go back to the car and rip the bow off after you got...
Listen, I enjoyed my bow. I said, listen, I'm gonna live in yesterday today. I'm gonna live in yesterday today. And this is the other thing too. I've always been a saver. So I knew that the only big purchase I made was that car. And this was 2003. That car was maybe $12,000, which, was like maybe $300 a month or something.
Yeah.
It's doable. It was doable, but it still was, another kick in the chest. But this is what I say about that experience. I learned immediately in this industry that nothing is guaranteed. Now, what a great way to learn it. I'd rather learn it with a $12,000 car than a $100,000 Porsche, right? I'd rather learn it without a mortgage. I'd rather learn it while Apollo Investments is still allowing me to come in and eat that cereal and that kookaroo in the evening. You know what I mean? I learned it at the right time. And then it taught me how to appreciate and be grateful for everything you get, because nothing is guaranteed in this life, and especially in this business. It's not guaranteed.
So that's so interesting, right? Because you've had full TV shows, you know, you were on Community, you left there, you've had like, do you think that view of life has made it easier to navigate this very difficult life?
Absolutely. Because I think, listen, either you believe, my favorite scripture is Jeremiah 29:11.
That's my favorite scripture.
Is that that's the one, man. I don't
That's
know how you
the one that has kept me.
That
For
is
I
the
know the plans God
I have
has
towards
for
you to prosper you,
and
give
not
you a
to
future,
harm you.
not to harm you, to give you an expected end.
Yes.
Right? Which means, what do you expect? You know, and also God's got you. So though it looks like right now, this is horrible, it's an expected end. So if it looks horrible, it ain't the end. I put that scripture on the runner of my wedding. Jeremiah 29:11 was on the runner.
Yes.
Because that's how much of a rock scripture it is for me. And so if you believe that scripture, and you believe that God is literally trying to prosper you and not harm you, that means at any time in life that you feel like you got a kick to the sternum, that's not the end.
Yeah.
It might be a lesson, but it's not the end. So I always hold on to God's word, and he says that it's going to be all right for me ultimately. So I'm just going to keep going until I get to my ultimate end. And that's when he calls me home. When he says, well done, my good and faithful servant.
Oh,
so
you
I'm
love
keep
him
going.
for real, Yvette Nicole
Brown.
Brown.
Playing. I know Jesus.
You know him good.
I know Jesus.
YNB, you know the Bible. And I know technically no starts with a K.
It's all right. We're going to do it today. We're going to do it today.
You this, Yvette. Now, yes. Some would assume at this level of your career, which congratulations, you've had so many things go well for so long.
Thank you.
Some would assume, even me, at this point, you don't have anything that goes wrong, anything that you want that doesn't come to pass. Do you still need these lessons? Are there still things that you want for, go out for? I don't know if you're auditioning, you're offer only.
First of all, I think offer only is a trap. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I do. It's nice. It's nice for somebody to say, we'd like you to do this. Or we wrote this for you. I've had a couple of experiences like that, and it's lovely. But when it's an offer, I want people to remember this. There's always somebody that ain't on board. So that means when you get on set, that person's there. It might be the director, it might be the producer, it might be the showrunner. There's somebody there that wanted you to audition, and they're not sure. Now, the thing is, hopefully, if you're offer only, you know your skill set enough, and you've been on enough sets to know, and you can win them over. But I don't want to start by having to win you over. I'd rather everybody say she's the one. Now, I'm not saying that I'll say no to offer only and go audition me. Now, if you're gonna give it to me, you're gonna give it to me.
Right.
But I also do not mind auditioning, and I still audition. I'll even tell someone if they say we are thinking of you for this. I'm like, let me know when you want me to put something on tape, or you want me to come in, and they'll go, oh no, we're gonna offer. Oh, okay. You know, but I the show I did, Odd Couple, right after I left Community for my dad, take care of my dad, I got a call. I was on this. I think it was on the CBS Radford lot, and I ran into the showrunner of The Odd Couple. No, that's not true. I ran into one of the writers on The Odd Couple that used to work on Community. That's what it was. I ran into one of the writers, and she said, Emily, and she said, Yvette, you know, we're trying to get you to come over to The Odd Couple. We're recasting a role, and we'd love for you to do The Odd Couple. And I said, okay, that'd be great, awesome. And I left her thinking any day this audition is going to come in. Then a couple of weeks later, I run into the showrunner, Bob Daly, who I'd never met before. He said, hi, I'm sorry, you don't know me. My name's Bob Daly. I'm showrunner on Odd Couple. We're trying to get you. I said, yeah. I said, no one gave me any information about the audition. He said, no, we want to give it to you. Like, we want you to play this role. And this was the first time offer. And no one had ever offered me anything. And I was prepared. After coming off of 5 years on Community, I was prepared to go and audition. for this
Wow.
role. And he told me, no, we're just trying to get the name of your agent. Like, we need you, because it's all before social media and stuff. So there
Mm-hmm.
was no, which that's a lie. There was social media, but I guess they didn't have my
No,
agent
yeah.
or it. And then I found out when I reached out to my agent that my agent had sent me something about The Odd Couple, but it didn't have an audition attachment. So I saw it, but it didn't say, the little attachment, like so I never opened it. I literally, and I called my agent like, yo, they're looking for me. He said, Yvette, we sent you that 3 weeks ago. You never responded. We thought you didn't want to do what? I'm going through my email like, what? So you just never know how things are going to play out. But I've kept that feeling. Like I will audition for things. If you don't know for sure, if somebody's not sure about me, I absolutely will audition.
That is, I think, so good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I hope upcoming actors and creatives hear that. Like, this industry, there's few people who never have to do it again, but that's not the norm. And you've been working good. 160 IMDb credits.
God is good.
I remember you saying one time, you said, listen, if you want to work on that first season, that first pilot, because if people only watch a little bit, they gonna watch the first episode.
They gonna watch you. I didn't told people this for years, and I hope people are heeding me. The best hack of this industry is residuals, and the best way to make sure you get them from day one, when a show goes into syndication, is try to get on the first season of a new show. Mm-hmm. Show ain't even got to make it. But the first season, I'm forever trying to get in on a first season show. Because then when 5 years later, when it goes into syndication, if we still get 22-year seasons anymore, mm-hmm. then you're automatically in that first set of residual syndication money. You're going to get money, and it's going to keep coming for the rest of your life. Might be 5 cents by the time it's done, but you're going to get that good money.
Yes, sir. It's your Apollo season. Investments. At least you ain't got to go down to Apollo.
And don't think I won't go back. Listen. If this get tight, I say all the time, McDonald's always hiring. I will go get a job. I'm about to get out there. I'll be at Starbucks talking about what you want a venti. I don't got no shame in it. I got to eat. I got to pay for this house.
I feel the same way. Yeah. I worked for many years before I ever booked a thing. I would have to work for 38 years.
Yep.
In this industry before I have done enough time that I didn't work in here. Y'all, I will be okay.
I'll be okay.
If I'm on your Uber and you see, ain't you, Kev? Absolutely. 5 stars.
Absolutely.
5 stars, please.
Give me the 5 stars. Please give me the 5 stars.
20%.
Here's your DoorDash order. You Yvette? Yes, I am. And do you want? Here's the chicken. Here's the chicken and the drink. And I put a little piece of tape over the drink when I was driving because I didn't want to. So all your drink is in there. And here's your straw. I ain't got no shame. I'm from Cleveland. We work in Cleveland. I will work.
Oh my gosh, Yvette, this has been fantastic. Before we let you go, we've talked about some of your moments that are not your best. Is there anything you're looking forward to that you're hoping is going to be some of your best moments that we can look out for when it comes out?
I've got 2 films coming out. I'm in a Code 3 with Little Rel and Rainn Wilson. That's coming out. And then also I'm in K-Pops with Anderson .Paak. I play his mom. And then I've got, a couple of little things bubbling up. I have a Lifetime movie coming up with Tony Braxton and my husband and I. He plays my husband. My husband's an actor as well. So Tony up in there playing my husband. Your
husband play your husband?
Job. He booked that job. Them kisses were delicious on set. Because I don't ever want to kiss nobody but my husband. I don't know how these people be kissing random people. I be like, gingivitis is contagious. I don't want your gingivitis. I don't know you like that. So Tony's my husband. He went on and booked a role. So we went up to Vancouver and did that.
Well, y'all, please check out Yvette and all the things she's done. And thank you, Yvette, for joining. These stories were great. I hope somebody's left here encouraged. I sure have. I love some of your perspectives I think will be necessary for me as I continue my career. I love your point of view on this, and I think it's a necessary one. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next.
Before you go, we close it out. I got something I want to say.
Please. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
I am so proud of you. I have watched your career for I don't know how long. I have been rooting for you. I feel like I've been friends with you longer than we've been friends because I've been rooting for you ever since I first saw you. I think your way of doing comedy is brilliant. I think the way that you always keep God first is amazing. The fact that you celebrate marriage and fatherhood and you love your wife, all of it, Kev, is really, really necessary and wonderful. And you prove in the same way that Tabitha proves and other people that you don't have to be wretched and hateful to make it in this business. You can make it in this business and keep your soul intact.
Yes.
And celebrate and support other people as you rise, and you embody that. So I want to give you your flowers, brother, and tell you that I'm so happy that I finally got a chance to work with you in this respect, and I look forward to working with you in other respects as well. I think you're all the things.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I had an old viewpoint when I worked at the bank. It was the bank would look the other way if you could trick somebody into a product. And I was like, I can't do that. I live in the city. I don't want somebody to hit me in the back of the head with a brick because I tricked them.
That's right.
I can walk around good because I know I ain't done you wrong.
Or to harm somebody. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
Nothing makes me happier to hear 100 and some credits on IMDb, and I know that I didn't steal one of them jobs from nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't lie to nobody to get an audition I didn't deserve, or to make sure they didn't get an audition that they did deserve. I have not done anybody any harm in this industry.
That's
and
amazing.
that makes me prouder than anything. And that means, I may not be one of the cool kids. I don't get to go all the places and stuff because I'm just not the cool kid. But I'm okay being not the cool kid. I'm the nice kid.
Yeah, and nice is good.
Nice is good.
Cool is relative. Cool changes.
Cool changes.
Nice is good always.
Always.
So thank you, Yvette. That meant a lot to me. I will cherish those little words. I'm gonna put them in my pocket. I'm going to put them in my heart. I'm going to put them in my heart.
Put them in your heart, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.